So I decided to use the EALD elaborations on the EALD standards in my learning area to create opportunities for teachers to move along the continuum in a more focused manner. In my view, the EALD elaborations provide clear detail to teachers about how they can further continue their professional journey as teachers. So prior to actual performance management meetings, I reminded the team to focus on a couple of areas in the elaborations that they wanted to improve on, and also to identify any areas that required further elaboration on my part or clarification. So during the performance management discussion of my team's self-assessment, we looked over the evidence that they provided and discussed ways to advance along the continuum. And what we found was that some people had perhaps been too harsh on themselves in their assessment, whereas others had been overly generous. The results of using the EALD elaborations for the team have been more focused direction in how to proceed from being proficient through to highly accomplished and perhaps even lead. The results of having used the EALD elaborations in performance management meetings have been positive. I can see a change in people's curriculum, a change in people's pedagogy, and also a change in the language that they use when they're talking to each other and to me about development. And I think one of the really key movements for me has been that teachers, particularly career teachers, are understanding that they are measuring themselves against a national standard and not just a standard that applies here at Glenunga International High School.
For me personally, going through the whole process, it enabled me to use it as a checklist to see areas where I felt very confident in, and also areas where I would probably need to do a little bit more work. Overall, it has helped me greatly in my own personal development as a teacher, as well as being able to instill the practice of this process into each and every class that I teach. Having this exposure to the elaborations in our professional development meetings, it enabled me to take it to the next step, where I have elected to look into a density building initiative, which is a South Australian DECT program that is aimed at supporting highly accomplished teachers and lead teachers in achieving their certification.
3 and 5 really.
Yeah, that was probably some areas that I was looking at too, more specifically for where I would actually get the best value out of the actual elaboration process, and then that would then transfer into my classrooms.
Yeah. So here I'm thinking, how are you programming your teaching learning cycles, and then here I'm thinking, well, how are you actually assessing, providing feedback and reporting to the community?
Actually, we've had some conversation about the teaching and learning process and the cycle as well, because that helped me actually plan my unit much better as well.
Yeah.
And then it also showed areas where I probably could actually add a little bit more, especially when it came to maybe some functional grammar elements and that type of thing. Yeah. So I remember we had conversations.
I think it's probably made the meetings, and we've got something to centre around as well, because it's quite easy to go off on tangents, isn't it, or to focus on really small aspects.